Animal production is the branch of agriculture concerned with animals that are raised for meat, fiber, milk, eggs, or other products. It includes day-to-day care, selective breeding, and the raising of livestock. Importance of animal production. To meet projected demand for animal products, the industry must streamline production and advance capacity to prevent, detect, diagnose, and treat animal diseases. The health and quality of livestock is influenced by genetics, care, nutrition, and environment. The quality of animal products is affected by production methods and marketing practices. Scientists study the conditions in which animals are raised as well as how animal products are manufactured and marketed in order to produce good quality of life for animals, healthy livestock that reach full production potential, and nutritious and safe food supply.
Let's talk about broiler raising. Global production of broiler meat has been growing since the 1960s, faster than that of any other meat. In recent years, the growth has occurred in developing countries. Broiler meat is popular because it is cheaper, more versatile, and is perceived to give more health benefits than red meat. In spite of these advantages, the world broiler industry increasingly faces pressure to improve its production methods, with consumers and government citing health, environment, and animal welfare as the areas for improvement. Broilers are hybrid chickens bred for fast growth and finish. Typically raised to about 5 pounds, they are usually processed between 7 and 9 weeks of age. Chickens slaughtered between 9 and 12 weeks of age typically weigh between 7 and 10 pounds and are cold roasters. A process done to provide chicks with natural or artificial heat to help maintain their body temperature is called brooding. The mother hen supplies natural heat to its young while chicks hatch in an incubator get heat from brooder. There are 3 kinds of chicks to brood. Straight-run chicks refers to a group of chicks composed of an even number of males and females. This composition of chicks is preferred if production is for eggs and meat. The sex chicks. These are either all male or female chicks. If your purpose is to produce mainly poultry meats or eggs, use this kind of chicks. And the started chicks refers to older chicks that have already been bred for a period of time. These chicks are more expensive than day-old chicks.
Generally, the poultry birds which are popular and raised for egg production are simply known as layer poultry. Layer poultry farming means raising egg-laying poultry birds for the purpose of commercial egg production. Layer chickens are such a special species of hens which need to be raised from when they are 1 day old. A good layer poultry housing system keeps the birds safe while growing and productive. Food and housing are 2 main factors of successful poultry farming business. Housing is important for raising layer poultry commercially and in small scale. A good poultry house protects the poultry birds from the adverse weather condition, injury, and predators. Poultry birds require a draft-free and dry house. Shed, gab, monitor, and half monitor are the types of roofs in a layer house. You can raise layer poultry in both deep litter and cage system. Deep litter poultry farming system is usually used for free-range or organic poultry farming systems, but cage system is suitable for commercial production purpose, while floor-type system is a conventional system of housing birds where each bird has the freedom to roam in the open floor. To achieve maximum result in layer farming, certain equipment in layer houses is necessary. To facilitate collection of manure, dropping board is needed, purchased to avoid the birds from crowding at night. Hens lay their eggs in nest. Broody coops for confinement of broody hens that are not desired for hatching eggs. Feeding and drinking troughs to keep hens from scratching and wasting the feeds. Feeding bins for storing feeds where a good quality and nutritious feeding is necessary for layers' growth and development.
Swine raising is second to poultry raising when it comes to business potentials and profitability. It has a faster return of capital compared to goat and cattle raising. It is a good source of protein and its waste can be source of organic fertilizer. Things you need to know when selecting the site for swine raising are the following: topography, prevailing wind direction, access to roads, access to electrical power, and access to water, drainage, environmental concerns, zoning regulation, and peace and order situation. There are 6 available pig breeds that can be raised in the Philippines. These are the Landrace, Large White, Petrain, Duroc, Hampshire, and the Philippine Native Pig.
Goat racing can be profitable and rewarding experience. They are intelligent and curious animals and have the desire to explore for the cleanliest and tasty food as they spend their time in barn areas and pastures. Their hooves needs to be trimmed regularly in order to avoid predisposed to other foot and leg problems. When a kid is no longer receiving milk from their mother, it's called weaning, and males will undergo castration when they reach 8 months to 12 months old to remove their testicles. The horning procedure is where they remove goat horns to avoid damage that possibly arise in fighting, while ear tagging is used for breeding and recording. Goat shelters needs protection from draft wind and adequate precipitation, accessible sites, greenhouse barns, and often use corn cobs as bedding. It must be near the water source and must be suitable to the condition of the area.
Types and breeds of cattle. There are 2 types: dairy type, which is intended for milk, and beef type, which is intended for meat production. Dairy type cattle. Red Sinti, good for milk and beef, has red color skin, and can produce 5 liters of milk a day. Sahiwal and Haryana, small heads, long narrow faces, has short horizontal horns, long legs with well-shaped hoofs and short tails, and has white or light gray skin. Jersey, head is short and has broad forehead with medium-sized body. Skin colors can be golden brown, light, red, and cream. Holstein Friesian has an average lactation yield from 6,500 within 305 days and weighs 280 to 320 kilograms at sexual maturity. Beef type cattle. Number 1. Philippine cattle. Has Chinese Spanish origin and hardy, resistant, and prolific. Grows and gains size fast, and they are used for work and can be a supply for beef. Number 2. Indian cattle. There are 2 types of Indian cattle. Number 1. Ongol. Males have gray markings on head, neck, and hump, and has black points on knees and has different patterns. Number 2. Taparkar. Bull's neck, hump, and hindquarters are color black. System of breeding cattle. There are 4 types. Number 1. Inbreeding, which means breeding cattle that are closely related to each other. Number 2. Line breeding, breeding cattle that are cousins or distantly related to each other. Number 3. Crossbreeding, breeding of 2 superior animals of different breeds to attain new commercial breeds. And lastly, number 4. Upgrading, breeding of bulls to related cows to upgrade the quality of offspring. Feeding cattle. They can be fed with these 3 types. Number 1. Roughages. Examples of roughages are napier grass, centrosema, guinea grass, and paragrass. Number 2. Proteins. Examples of proteins that can be fed are soybean, copra meal, bone meal, blood meal, shrimp meal, and fish meal. And lastly, number 3, carbohydrates, which are corn bran, wheat bran, yellow corn, and corn chips.